Now is the time for the actual GTA 6 community map update. If you haven't realized yet, this map, which we put out yesterday on April 1st, was actually an April Fool's, but this is the real one. This version has less and smaller updates than the previous versions, as we have mapped almost everything from the previous marketing materials and leaks, and we approached the layer 3. However, some of the changes are very interesting. My name is Saukko, and I'm a part of the GTA 6 mapping community, and I helped in the creation of Yanis' map, along several other mappers. Let's start from the south like usual. Kiilento had some minor additions, mostly adding pavements near buildings and adjusting some buildings. Then in Watson Bay, most of the buildings were adjusted and made more accurate. Then in Homestead, we have a visually notable change, as we extended the speculative grey city area of Vice City all the way to Hamlet. So Hamlet is part of the Vice metropolitan area, just like Homestead is part of the Miami metropolitan area in real life. Then Gables Estates, where this scene takes place, was adjusted to be more accurate, as the camera location previously was too far south on the map. Then at the airport, we removed the southern runway and added a few confirmed hangars to the map. We can see these two buildings here on this screenshot, and in real life are along the southern runway of Miami International Airport. So that would suggest that Rockstar has excluded the southern runway and moved the buildings to the diagonal runway. Additionally, if the southern runway would be there, we should see some sign of it here, but we don't. And also, it was like this in the original Vice City, so it does make sense why Rockstar did this. Also, some of the canals south of the airport were adjusted based on this scene. Then this area was adjusted based on this screenshot. On Vice Beach, we have some small adjustments and a few small roads and buildings added to the map. And then in La Perle and Crosstown, some buildings got added to the map, like this building from this screenshot and this building which we saw in the TikTok leak. And in real life, it's a car dealership, so it's like that in game 2. Then this sandbar in Northern Vice City was added because there's an event called Piano on a Sandbar. This is likely a reference to a real piano on a real sandbar, which is in Miami. So we added the sandbar to the map based on the real life location of the sandbar. Then Waning Sands. Again, this area is based on only this scene from trailer 1, and I guess this area is now a bit more accurate than it previously was. Definitely, at least with the cul-de-sac. It's still probably oriented a bit wrong, and some of the roads are still probably wrong on the map, but we are getting there. And then north of Waning Sands, we added a speculative canal, which connects Lake Leonida to the sea. And this canal is based on the Saint Lucie Canal, and we kinda do see it in the Underground League. Then in Ambrosia, we have a lot of interesting changes. Firstly, we changed the way Route 35 connects to Ambrosia from Vice City, as we see lights here which look like to be along a road, and of course there are billboards here, which wouldn't make sense without a large road. So the road would be behind this railroad. And of course we had to adjust some areas around the road so that we can fit the road in there. Then the hill in Ambrosia was adjusted, and then of course the airfield or airport was added to Ambrosia. It is still speculative, as we are not completely sure about this find. However, in the Ambrosia postcard, we do see these lights. All of them are basically in a straight line, and they continue even here. These lights are way too dense to be street lights and way too consistent to be headlights, so the only explanation for them is an airfield. However, it's hard to tell, as some, if not the most, of the lights are covered by foliage on the foreground, and of course by the factory. This grid of lights would be the end of the runway. This runway looks to be shorter than the Vice City airport, and we don't know what airfield it is based in real life. There are several options, but we haven't found an exact match yet. And the distance from VCIA to the Ambrosia airport is about the same as the distance from the casino to Sandy Shores in GTA 5. Also, a tarmac in Ambrosia was mentioned in the leaks, so this is likely it. Then we added 2 of the screenshots to Mount Kalaga. These should be correct, but they are still marked as speculative, as they are likely wrong in one way or another. So this screenshot is located here, looking southwest, and we were able to determine its location based on the hill on the background, as it's the one east of Port Kelhon, and it's the same one that we see in the background of this screenshot. So this road comes from Ambrosia, and if we enhance the image, we can see parts of the Ambrosia Canal. And the river in this valley seems to be based on the Kissimmee River. And this screenshot is located here, looking towards the south. And the location of this screenshot was of course based on the hill we see here, which is the same one that is east of Port Kelhon. These billboards are near the motel, and this billboard is near Hank's Waffles. Additionally, here we can see the sea, and this coast seems to be this coast. And of course, the roads seen in the screenshots were added to the map. And the mountains were adjusted. We added a new mountain here, which should be there, unless we are completely wrong about some things. It's the one we see in the foreground in this screenshot. We see it in several leaks, and in the background of this scene. And then in Port Kelhon, the location of the lights was adjusted. We found this Jewish sign in real life, and of course the buildings next to it with it, and the area was further improved. So this map update is probably the last one we have before the next news about GTA 6 from Rockstar Games. Unless we make some big discoveries or the news don't come out in May. So subscribe if you want to see map updates after the trailer and more content about GTA 6. Like the video, comment and share, and thank you.